hankering for a hot dog, I go to Cleveland, Texas. Just a couple blocks off the square, they got Loafing Dog. They got the Neely Dog, the Mary Sunshine Dog, the Casey Dog, and the Shirley Dog. Why, they even got the Pacer Dog, the Brooklyn Dog, and the Jim Dog. Can't forget the Shane Dog, or the Joy Dog, and the Monty Dog. I like that fool. Then the Kia Dog and the Braxton Dog round things off. Why, they even got a kids menu too.
Loafing Dog, 208 East Chambers Street, Cleveland, Texas. Lunch, catering, or takeout, plus outdoor seating. Phone numbers 817-556-1040.
This is Wilford Brimley. And don't forget, Loafing Dog won't give you diabetes.
If you're trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581. Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
At Romika Designs, we're more than just a laser engraving and specialty design company. Much more. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs, and if you can dream it, we can probably make it. We can custom laser cut and engrave on nearly all material. Great for one-of-a-kind gifts, home decor, business and specialty items, or personalized and logo designs created just for you or your company. Allow us to become your go-to gift and specialty project partner. Romika Designs can help make your ideas a reality. We're ready to help you design and create that special gift for any occasion or engrave your personal or business logo on just about any product. View our designs at romikadesigns.com or simply email us with your ideas. We specialize in custom design and would be honored to have the opportunity to discuss it with you. Call us at 817-400-4040, email info@romikadesigns.com, or visit us on the web at romikadesigns.com.
Out-of-date carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they've got you covered.
Serving Johnson County, Texas, Joco Community Radio.
Hello, welcome to Real Estate Reality with your host, Diana Roberts, and our co-host, wonderful co-host.
This is Jason Chandler with Affinity Mortgage in Burleson.
That was me sharing it. Hello. We're all trying to share. So everybody.
Who was that?
All right. And then we have our special guest with us from HomePro.
Hey.
Hi.
Ken Carcich with HomePro.
Oh, very nice. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. We are super excited to talk about all things home security and automation, right?
Very cool. Yeah.
Yes.
I know a thing or two about a thing or two. So
Yeah.
hopefully I can help.
That would be great. I mean, it's definitely needed. I feel no matter where you are, even if you're
Mhm.
out in the country, honestly,
Mhm.
you never know when you're going to need it. So
Correct.
yes. And home automation. How awesome is that? Like,
It's such a big thing right now.
It is a big
Everyone's doing
thing.
home automation. You want your lamp controlled, you want your garage door controlled, your doorbell. And I mean, it's just if you can't use it on your phone, then why use it?
It's
you
so
know?
awesome. I can unlock my door right now. I can
Exactly.
turn my AC up. It's, it's like, well, who needs it? But boy, especially on the summers when you want to keep it down, and then when people are going to be home, and be able to turn that air up at that time. And
Well, shoot, like right now, this time of year, yesterday was 80,
uh-huh.
and right now it's what, 55 outside,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so you want to be able to change that temperature to, fit whatever crazy Texas weather we're getting right now.
Yeah, Texas is a female, I'm convinced. And she's on menopause or she's experiencing menopause, so she doesn't know what she wants.
she's bipolar for sure.
I don't know about bipolar. I wouldn't say bipolar. It's just, But anyway,
she's pretty.
this isn't the
she's
Weather
out there.
Channel.
It can be.
It can be.
It could be outside.
Absolutely. We can talk whatever we want. But we do want to talk more about HomePro. So tell us a little bit about your biggest possible item that you guys are always getting the most questions about, or what people are most interested in.
So besides just home security as a whole, cameras are a big deal.
Yeah.
So when I first got in this industry, 15 years ago, it was super rare for a home to have cameras.
Yeah.
Because it was super expensive back then. Thousands and thousands of dollars to put cameras on the house. Now cameras are so affordable that, everyone wants some sort of camera. Doorbell camera, backyard camera, a camera in the house so they can watch their kids or their animals or whatever, right? So that's probably the most common question I get is, what can you do for cameras? Where can we put them? How many can we do? Things like that. So I get camera questions on the daily, pretty much.
Which is making TikTok people famous.
Oh gosh, yeah, exactly.
Oh, I love it. I get those are my favorite ones to watch. Is the ones that they're recording somebody at their front door.
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh yeah, interaction with someone at the front door. Yeah.
Yes, it's so funny. It's so funny, but that's it is. It's way more popular than what it used to be for sure.
Oh, 100%.
And there were times where you could see a camera, and me knowing a little bit about security,
Mhm.
it wasn't wired.
The dummy camera.
The dummy cameras.
Oh, man, I've got some stories about dummy cameras too. But yeah, no, people used to put up
Yes.
dummy cameras all the time. But now, since I wasn't even thinking about dummy cameras till you brought it up, but dummy cameras can be a liability now.
Yes.
I believe it was, I could be wrong, but I believe it was Walmart that lost a huge lawsuit because someone was attacked outside of one of their properties. And they said, well, there was a camera there. They should get footage of the attack, right?
Yeah.
It was a dummy camera. So a lawsuit
Uh,
ensued and they lost. I'm almost positive it was Walmart. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was Walmart. And so dummy cameras, it used to be a cool deterrent, cheap. You get them on the internet or whatever. Put a battery in it, the little red light blinks at you or
Yeah.
whatever. But now it could be a liability, you
Yeah.
know. So I definitely discourage people from using dummy cameras nowadays.
So
Yes, for
what, you
sure.
put one in your living room in your kid's bedroom so your babysitter thinks they're being, or is it more for the outside?
I think it's more for
Outside.
like a dummy camera, or
Yeah, dummy camera.
Dummy cameras. Businesses did them a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes houses did them, but businesses did them a lot. Just
Mhm.
whether it was for theft or employee type scenarios, but people did them a lot in businesses.
What about the street lights? Because they're always saying, you'll see those cameras and then they're like, oh, they can't get you for speeding. And then someone said, yeah, they can if the camera got you. But then some of them were like, well, some of those lights, the cameras don't really work.
Oh, you're talking about like
on your traffic lights.
Yeah, I don't think those really pick up speed.
Wow.
Usually the ones that you're looking at, like, because you're talking about like license plate cameras and red light cameras, that type of scenario.
Yeah.
Those are ginormous. If you've ever seen them, like the housing for those cameras, it's the size of this table right here. So just those little traffic
Yeah,
cameras,
those little
on
things that come up.
yeah, the ones that are like on a red light or just on the side of the road or whatever.
Yeah.
That's just for a live feed, so tech stock can look in on a wreck situation or something like that. Not speeding or anything like
I
that.
just heard of
Right.
people getting tickets and going, do I have to pay this or fight this or whatever, or running a red light, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Well, the red lights, you don't see a lot of those cameras anymore.
Mhm.
I want to say certain cities still have them, but you don't see them as a whole. Like a
Good.
lot of cities got away from them because they weren't completely as accurate as they were supposed to be.
Right.
Good.
Right.
Don't have to
I
worry
remember
about
hearing
them
that.
anymore. Good.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about those.
Yeah, I know, right? Run all the red lights you want to.
Okay.
Just
Got
do
it.
it safely, please. I almost got hit yesterday because somebody was going on the yellow light and I was green and I was still going and the dude was turning and I was like, huh, hold on. And he
Gotta
had to
wait.
dodge. He dodged me, almost hit the truck next to me. Oh, it was, yeah, thank goodness. Everything's good. I'm here. We're all good.
Yeah.
But that's like, safely. Anyway, sorry. Talking about safety.
Back to the
It's
house.
a squirrel day. It is a squirrel day for
It's a
Diana.
squirrel
Okay.
day.
It's
Yeah,
a
we
squirrel
went down
day.
a rabbit trail on that one, didn't
We
we?
That's
did.
okay. That's okay.
There's
I
a
love
few
it.
more. There's
Yeah.
there's
happens.
pitfalls in this thing. But
Yes.
we've got time. So, all right. So I call you up. I say, Ken, come to my house, check it out. I got a 3.2,
Sure.
2,000 square foot home. What are you gonna do? You're gonna set the appointment. Then what's your plan there?
So usually when I walk into a house for the first time that I've never been in, is I will look for existing alarm equipment.
Right.
Because if it was a house built in the 90s and beyond, generally it'll have some sort of alarm equipment in it. A lot of builders have been pre-wiring houses for
years.
decades,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's the first thing I do is I go look for existing alarm equipment. I'll ask for keypads. If there's a keypad there, then we try and figure out what's all tied into it, things like that. And then we try to determine, what the homeowner's thinking. My number one question I always ask a homeowner is, in your mind's eye, what do you want out of the security system? Because everyone has an idea of some sort,
Right.
what they want to do. Some want Fort Knox, some want just enough to get their insurance discount. And I don't care what they want. As long as I say yes to me, that's all I care about. I was like, I don't care what options you pick, just pick me. That's all I care about.
Yes.
But I'll make my suggestions. I'll go in and suggest things. But based on what they tell me they want is kind of what I do or what my suggestions are from there. I don't force feed products or plans or things like that. It's what do you want? What are you trying to accomplish? And let's go from there.
Right.
And that'll make some suggestions here or there just based on the home, the family, the situation, or the business, the small business that I'm in. So yeah.
That makes perfect sense. And honestly, that makes the best salesperson because you're our sales representative. I should say, not salesperson.
I'm a sales consultant.
The sales consultant. Okay, I apologize.
Consultant.
Sales consultant. As a sales consultant, that's really important because you're actually getting to know who your client is,
Mhm.
what their needs are. You listen to them and actually hear what they're wanting for their home security to look like, or even their home automation,
Yeah.
in order to put the perfect package together for them. So
I won a bid on that just last week. I didn't know this customer was a business customer. Didn't know they were looking at other companies. And she emailed back saying, "Oh, we're going with your bid." And when I went out to go, sign them up or do the paperwork on it, she showed me the quote from the other company. And for what they wanted, it was about 5-6 cameras. Nothing crazy, right?
right.
Well, this other company suggested like 13 cameras. And I was like, "So why didn't you go with this one?" She's like, this person didn't listen. Didn't listen to what I wanted, didn't listen to what we were trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
You listened to what I wanted to try and do. And so that's what we're going to go with. So I try and listen to their needs, their wants, their fears. Sometimes there's fear there depending on the people, and then go from there.
Right. And probably circumstances, because a lot of times when they reach out to you, typically something's happened.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Or something's happened in the past and they
Yeah.
know things can happen in the future.
Right. Yeah, true. Very true. Yeah, I've heard some horror stories.
Mhm.
I have heard some horror stories. So
I would think there's opportunity, like if someone didn't, wasn't really aware of how it all worked, and they're
Mhm.
sitting there, especially if they have little kids, right? Because you have the doors make noise, when stuff or alarms can go off if a door is opened
Mhm.
without an alarm code being hit, stuff like that. I mean, that was a big deal. I know when I was
Mhm.
raising my kids,
Yeah.
if that alarm went off, it's like, what the heck, even after all the door latches and everything on the inside, kids figure it out. They want to get outside.
Yeah, you'd be
So-
surprised how many times I've gone into a house and they have teenagers, and like I'm not really concerned about people come in. I want to keep people in. I don't want people breaking in necessarily. It's not the thing is I want to keep people in the house. In the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? So, but yeah, little kids are a big deal too, because once they can reach that doorknob, that chime on that alarm system is a big deal.
Yeah.
Or even in the middle of the night. Like I had a cousin that used to sleepwalk, right?
Mhm.
And that was back in the late 80s, early 90s, back in the day. And they didn't have an alarm system. And she got out of the house a couple times, just sleepwalking. They found her down the block.
Oh, no.
So no, kids, alarm systems and kids go hand in hand. It's a great parenting tool, everything from the alarm and the chimes. But those latchkey kids coming off the bus, maybe the parents don't come home for a couple hours after the kids come home.
Yeah.
You got a doorbell camera, you got an automatic lock, you got an alarm system. All these things can alert a parent when the kid's home. And they can also set reminders, let's say by 4:00, if XYZ hasn't happened, the parent can get an alert saying, the alarm's not hasn't been disarmed, things like that. And then they can reach out to their kid because 99% of kids have phones nowadays, right?
Yeah.
So they can reach out to their kid and say, "Hey, where are you?"
Right. Why aren't you home yet?
Exactly. And then the kid's like, "Oh, I'm home." Well, you're not in the house. So are you on the front porch? Where are you right now?
Right. I kind of feel bad for these kids. They don't get to get away with some of the things we got away with.
Oh gosh, I'm so glad I
when we
didn't
were-
have a phone back in the day.
I know. Had a pager.
You got no chance.
Well, I didn't even have a pager growing up because I was in
Oh.
Wyoming, so that wasn't a thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay.
We didn't really have the pagers for kids back then. Doctors had pagers, and that was it. In
Really?
Wyoming, anyway. Back
Okay.
down here, it was different. I know a lot of people had pagers as kids, but I did not.
Well, I kind of grew up.
pager.
Well, I went to high
No.
school in California, so yeah, we definitely had pagers.
Well, West Texas, probably like Wyoming. Yeah, there were no pagers.
Exactly.
There was the cell phones. It would be like my dad might have one, and they just honked when it rang, and it didn't work half the time. He was in the oil field, But yeah, it was. But I'm so glad we didn't have them. But I am glad we had them when kids, the kids became teenagers because.
Right.
I mean, too bad for them. But
It is too bad for them.
Exactly. Hey, sorry.
Too bad for them. Good for us.
Good for us.
Exactly. That's kind of what I tell my boys. I'm like, yeah, sorry, kids. I mean, should have grew up in my time.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The 80s were a great time for that.
That's right.
Right.
For
I got
sure.
good boys. But okay, so you guys also have home theater.
Correct.
I'm kind of interested in hearing a little bit more about that, and I feel like maybe some of our listeners might be too.
So when someone is designing their house with the builder, so we have a relationship with about 110 builders in Texas, right?
Nice.
We're spread out throughout Texas. We've got branches all over the place. So when someone is getting a house through, let's say First Texas Homes, just for an example, it's one of our biggest. They have an option to go to our showroom in Carrollton, right? And there's other showrooms in other parts of the state, but here in the Metroplex, they go to our showroom in Carrollton, and it's a full interactive experience with everything as far as theater rooms. We even have like VR sets that they can put on, and they can do like a virtual interactive session of what their house could be with everything that HomePro can put into a house, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we have a media room set up. We've got kitchen set up. We've got bedroom set up with different lighting scenarios and different things. So they can go through essentially what is like a mini house in our showroom, and they can kind of pick and choose what they want to do according to their budget or their needs or their wants. And so we can do like a full theater. We can do a fully automated system with lighting and thermostats and all these different things. Or we can just do a watered down version. They just want just maybe a couple lights, automated, or maybe they just want a couple speakers like on the back porch or something like that. So we can go kind of small projects, or I've seen houses that have a ridiculous amount of stuff. Like the house is completely wired. There's a ton of speakers in the house. There's projectors. There's lighting controls. There's a ton of stuff. So we can do just about what anyone wants to do as far as a home automation and or theater type system.
Okay. And so the theater system basically just where it runs the lights,
Mhm.
and you can like what all can it do exactly? I'm very curious.
So, so the theater systems, I mean, so imagine you got like a media room,
Right.
right?
Okay.
And so we would pre-wire speakers, like 5.1 or 7.1 type system, right? Whatever they want to do, and then we provide the sound equipment and all that. So if it's a media room, they can have like almost a at home theater type experience
Sweet.
in there. So I mean, the screen on the wall, the overhead projector on the ceiling, surround sound, and they got a remote that controls it all, and then also it can control the lights. But then we can put speakers in other parts of the house. They want them in the living room, they can have speakers in the living room and control just those. They want them on the back patio, we can put them on the back patio. So it literally, if you've seen it somewhere like on TV or in a movie, we can probably do it, which is pretty
Nice.
cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's still hardwired to each room. Is it still actually hardwired?
Yeah, so we pre-wire that during the construction. So before the
Oh,
sheetrock
okay.
goes up on the wall, we're running those wires, the speaker wires. We're running, the Cat 6 in the walls. We're running the alarm wires, the camera wires. We're doing all that before sheetrock goes in the wall, because that's the ultimate way to do it.
Right.
If we got to come retrofit like a 2-story house after the fact, we have wireless equipment we can use for that. But if we're doing construction, we want to pre-wire that thing before sheetrock goes on the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. Because hardwired, I would figure, because if you have it wireless, a lot of times that can kind of go and fade in and out sometimes, right? I mean, that's what it is.
As far as like speakers and
yeah,
things like that.
yes,
Yeah. Wireless speakers have come a long ways.
They have though. Yes.
But yeah, if we can do hardwired directly to the receiver, that's the best way to go.
Absolutely. I believe that.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
Well,
fun.
well, I remember when let's see, one of the first homes I had that where I guess after having kids where security was actually, you thought
It was
about
a
security.
thought, yeah.
You had to have a landline phone back then. Like
my
just
gosh.
having the
Oh my
just
gosh.
having the cell phone wouldn't work.
I
So
remember this.
you had to have your landline. Everything
Right.
ran off the landline, and then over time, if we would switch security companies or whatever, they'd be like, "Man, we don't need the line anymore. We'll look," and it just finally became, well, that's the only reason we have a landline
It was
phone
for the alarm system.
for the security.
Yeah.
That was probably the last reason to hold on to them.
Yeah. So when I first got in the industry back in 2008, a lot of people still had landlines, and alarm systems were primarily monitored through landline phones. And they called the radio receiver back then, which is a cellular communicator, but they always called it a radio for some reason. I always wondered if you get like 97.1 the Eagle on it or whatever, but because they always called it a radio, but it's really a cellular communicator. So right in that like 2008 to 2010 range, people were dropping landlines left and right because almost everyone had a cell phone at that point. iPhone was already out for a few years. Cell phones just in general are around a whole bunch. So very, very rarely do we ever use a landline anymore. It is like if we did 10 in the state of Texas all year, I'd be surprised.
Because it all goes to the cell towers now.
Yeah.
So you can still have like it's almost like a wireless kind of a.
It makes a cell phone call
Right.
to our monitoring center is what it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I know these things.
See,
I'm pretty smart.
She's educated.
I'm educated.
She so lucky.
I like to
Have
be
her around.
educated.
You got a good partner here.
There's nothing I haven't done though. That's
Well, put her to work. Have her run some wire for you at the next job.
I can do that. I've helped my husband do HVAC work, so
Well, there you go. If you've done HVAC, you can do just about anything.
That's right. Plumbing. I've done some plumbing.
There you go.
Just no sledgehammer work,
Yeah, no sledgehammer. No, Diana, like the guys didn't show me how to pick up a sledgehammer, and so yeah, my neck and my back have been. I got to go see a chiropractor 3 times a week now because
there's definitely a technique that comes to that.
It would have been nice if they had shared that with me first, but it's okay. It's whatever. Now I just get to have more chiropractic visits. So
that's how you learn.
Getting aligned. Okay, so central vacuum.
Mhm.
Now this is very interesting to me. Okay, what? And I mean, I think I've seen this. But tell us about it.
So central vac is pretty cool. It's essentially a vacuum that you don't necessarily have to drag around from room to room. Usually the actual vacuum part is located in the garage, it's ran to there. And then throughout the house, you will have ports that you plug your vacuum hose into, and then you vacuum whatever room you're in at the time. And then everything that you're sucking up, dirt,
What?
toys, small animals, whatever you're sucking up through the vacuum
Hamsters.
there, hamsters, whatever you're getting after, runs into that vacuum that's actually in the garage area. So, and then
Okay.
you can empty it all in the garage area. It's not actually in the house.
Okay, yeah. So
That's
all that
really
dust
cool.
and stuff is hidden. Now, you have to go turn the unit on when you're ready to use it. You actually go out to the garage, turn the unit on, and then all rooms are available at that time, right?
Correct.
Because it turns on for the whole
Correct.
house.
Yeah. And then just it's kind of like I guess when you're at the car wash and you take that vacuum at the car wash off the little thing
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
always on. That's kind of that. When you open that port and you plug your hose into,
Mhm.
then you're ready to go.
Wow. Oh, I want to see this.
Central Vac's pretty cool.
I gotta come to where you guys have like this whole like tour.
Oh yeah, come up to Carrollton. Yeah, we'll take you through the showroom and everything. It's
I
super
want to
cool.
go. Yes,
It's
I'll
super
even
cool.
record it and I'll post it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
that-
That way you guys can all see what I'm about to go see eventually. It's coming up.
100%. Let's schedule. Let's do it.
Okay.
It's super cool. You'll
All
like
right.
it.
I bet I would. That is so cool.
Well, it's definitely something you'd want to do, like pre-build. I mean, if you could schedule that to be your
retrofit?
yeah, because isn't it hard to go back after?
Yeah, it's on a 1-story you could probably get away with it. On a 2-story, you ain't got a chance.
Oh, wow.
On a 1-story, you might be able to get away with it, but 2 stories, no.
So you want to be part of the initial. If you're thinking about doing that out there, guys, with the new house, let them know up front.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, so they can get that all
Before
finished
sheetrock.
correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, before the sheetrock.
Yeah. You can do a lot of cool things before sheetrock.
Oh
A lot of
yeah.
cool things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I like the insulation is my favorite. Like I like the foam. If you're gonna do insulation, do foam.
Oh, yeah. Foam's solid.
Yes, it is. It is. Okay, so I just want to make one more comment about the vacuum cleaner because I'm so because you have the iRobots,
Mhm.
right? And you have the remote, but I hardly ever can use my iRobot because my animals have their toys or there's something that's left on my floor and then it gets stuck.
Oh,
And then I come home. Oh, and my cat likes to turn it on.
Really? Does your cat ride it?
Yes.
Does he really?
And my bearded dragon's ridden it too. I have a
Oh my
house full of
gosh.
animals.
Do you ever post that on Facebook?
I need to. I'm gonna post the one with my bearded dragon riding the iRobot.
That's
That was actually pretty
hilarious.
cool. Yeah, it
Those
was really
videos
funny.
crack me up every
Yeah.
time with an animal riding a Roomba.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it is. It's pretty cool. Like the cat just thinks it's so interesting. He'll like tap it and turn it on, then he'll jump on it, and then he'll jump off because it scares him. It's hilarious. I haven't gotten that on film yet. I need to. That's a good idea. I don't know
Oh,
why,
that's
but
funny.
yeah. So I love that because I mean, then you have it in every room. You don't have to drag it anywhere, and you
Mhm.
have to worry about your iRobot getting stuck on the rug or toys.
Or the battery dying
The
and
battery
just
dying,
you find
yes.
it under the couch somewhere,
Mhm.
Yeah, no, Central Vac is great. You just unplug it, go to the next room, plug it back in, and you're just ready to go,
I like
mean,
that a lot.
I mean,
better.
if you're a clean person, if you're a dirty person, then Central Vac isn't for you. But if you're a clean
Right.
person likes to vacuum,
Yeah, well, but
Central Vac is
you
great.
you dump a bunch of pizza and food all over the place watching a ball game. Hey, just go get the hose, man. We'll just
Oh, that's
great
awesome.
party cleanup.
but you guys living
Yes.
together, that'd be like that'd be a must, right?
How did I know you were going to go to some sort of party
I
scenario
don't know.
on the
I
cleanup?
don't know. I can't keep my mind straight. I can't.
It's a squirrel day. I'm telling you, it's a
Yeah.
squirrel day. It's okay. It's okay. We like to get squirrel moments, and laughter is always good. It's always fun, especially when you're learning something new. I like to be able to laugh about within the conversation.
If you can't laugh through the day, then what's the point?
Exactly.
I mean,
Live
even the
best life.
people with the hardest jobs in the world joke around and have fun. Look at police and firefighters, people in the
Yes.
military.
Yeah.
I mean, how many videos you see and them having fun and joking
yeah.
around? Because you have to. You have to laugh to get through the day. Because if you're not laughing through the day, then man, it's a rough day.
It is a rough day.
It's a rough
Yes.
day.
Yes.
Well, if you ever hang around with those like first responders or for military telling stories, you got to be ready to. You're hearing horrifying stuff, but there's a point. They're around it all the time, like doctors in surgery and ER doctors, and nurses. Imagine. The stories they have.
They have what we consider a dark humor.
Yes.
But it's just that's their reality.
Yeah,
their
exactly.
reality.
Yeah.
I get it a little bit because back in the day, I was a wildland firefighter back in Wyoming, which is forest fires. So
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
see as much as what they see, but there's a couple.
Occasional elk story.
Yeah,
going on,
burning elk. Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. I guess. I don't know. Poor things.
See, that's the country humor. Like,
That is the
you grew up
yeah.
in the country, I grew
Yeah.
up in the country. Yeah, that's the country humor right there.
And I got used to that quite a bit because, like, I've been everywhere. Well, I mean, country wise. Oh, we're about to go. Oh, okay. We're going to go on commercial, but we will be right back. Talk about some more home security and, just whatever random stuff
Burning
too.
elk.
All right.
Burning elk.
Burning elk.
You shoot it. Shoot it.
Hey, travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820.
Hey, there's something you forgot to do. It sure is hot. Are you sweating like a dog? Wait, what? Dogs don't sweat. Oh no, you forgot to get your window tinted. Whether it's the kitchen window that sits in the sun for the hottest part of the day, or you just got new wheels, call Sharp Window Tinting in Burleson. 817-615-9379, or look them up on the web, sharpwindowtint.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
Serving Johnson County, Texas. Joco Community Radio.
Good rock song.
Keep the song.
I will keep it. All right, everybody. Thank you for staying tuned on here, Real Estate Reality, with your host, Diana Roberts, and co-host Jason Chandler. And then also we have HomePro with us today. Joco Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 24/7 on the TuneIn Radio Network. TuneInJoco.com is the place to find all the ways to listen and watch. And the station app is also available for free on Android and Apple devices. Simply search your store. Check out our lineup and more at JocoCommunityRadio.com. This episode and more brought to you by Next Level Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep at 844-839-4245. That's 844-839-4245. Also, be sure to dress your arms and more at thetiffy.com. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we had a couple of comments come in, which is so cool. I just want to bring that up really quick, and then we're going to go into some history.
Yeah,
I like
said there's
history.
people making comments. I'm kind of.
Oh, no, it's good. Okay, so
Kinda scared.
Jonathan said, love this information. Ken is a seasoned veteran in the home security space and hands down the best in the industry. All right, that's why he's here. Yes, thank you, Jonathan. And then Travis said, call Ken at HomePro today. Thank you, Travis. he said, "Go, Ken."
Right on.
I love it.
Good stuff.
My mom
Yes.
just texted me too. She said, "Great job on the interview." I was like, "Oh, thanks, mom."
Aw. See, isn't that awesome? I love when you get the feedback like that. That means so much.
I'm glad you told me to put it on Facebook when we were doing it. I didn't know that was a thing. So,
Oh yeah, absolutely. That way everybody and anybody that wasn't able to watch it at this time, they can always go back and they can either go back on Facebook and watch it anytime, any day, or they can even go to TuneIn JoCo.com to watch at all of our many different platforms that we have available to you.
Very cool.
We've had some great shows.
Yeah.
For a lot of your local buddies that
Oh,
businesses here in Burleson. So the goal is to get every business at some point at this table.
Yeah, absolutely.
In Burleson and
Nice.
in Johnson County.
Well, there's only about 2,000 of them. So how many have you gone through? So
Well,
far?
we've done how many shows?
We've done quite a bit.
About 6 months worth of shows every Wednesday. So
Yeah.
give or take, but it's
we got a handful.
We got a ways to go.
We do have a ways to go.
So out there, if y'all want to come on, we want to have you. We want to hear about it. So
yes,
let's do it.
Everything Johnson County. Let's go.
JoCo.
All right. So I want to know about this history. While we were on break, you were telling us you have the history, the whole history about HomePro. I'd love to hear it. Let's go.
I don't know if I know the whole history,
well,
but I know I got a good grasp on the history.
Okay,
How about that? So HomePro's been around 25 years now. And it's a Texas owned and operated company, which is pretty cool. So the corporate office is in Carrollton. It's not another state. It's not out of the country, nothing like that. Like you want to drive to the corporate office where the showroom is, by the way, where
I'm coming.
You're coming.
Yep, I am.
I just hit my microphone.
It's okay. I've done it. It's all good.
So it's owned by a couple of brothers, Josh and Jake Roan. Super cool guys. They wear cowboy boots. They drive pickup trucks. They're Texans through and through. And they still own and operate and control the company, opposed to a lot of other companies out there that are board driven or shareholder driven. Run from like Goldman Sachs. There's companies out. Goldman Sachs owns an alarm company out there. I'll let people do the research and figure out who that is. But there's people like that who own alarm companies out there, and they control what that alarm company does. Well, no, these two brothers control what the alarm company does, essentially.
Right.
Texas born and raised and all that. So if someone truly wants to deal with a local company, HomePro is that company. In my previous life, the company I used to work for was a local company like that at one point, right? And now they don't exist, which is because shareholders, boards, all that type of stuff happened. But I like working for a Texas company, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so there's more to that question. I kind of I sidetracked a little bit.
Well, just about what they've been around about 25 years, right?
Right.
And Carrollton's like the home office.
Carrollton is the corporate office.
Corporate office. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good sized building. Got the showroom. Got customer service. Got operations. Got IT. All that is right there in Carrollton. So if people really need help and they want to reach out to the customer service department or the tech support department or anything like that, it's here. It's a 972 number. It's a DFW number that you're calling. It's not a 1-800. Press 1 for English, press 2 to learn English.
Are you telling me they're going to speak English?
Yeah. Well, it might be a Texas accent, so it's loose English.
Well, okay.
But
yeah, that's true.
Nothing wrong with Texan accent.
But no, it's people here in Texas. They live here in the Metroplex. They're local people that you're dealing with, which is super cool.
Yeah.
You get a person on the phone pretty quick. I think you might have to hit like one button and then you're talking to whoever you need to talk to pretty quick, which is super cool. And that's what I like about HomePro is the fact that it has that local feel to it. There's so many times people get caught up in, a phone tree or something where they're trying to get help and they don't know who to talk to. Or their sales rep, was in and out of that company real quick, where you don't have to deal with any of that with HomePro. You call the office, start talking to a real person, and we try and get you help as fast as we possibly can, which is pretty cool.
I like that. I get to talk to a real person. Like that's sold.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yes.
That human interaction is like diminishing daily. It seems like.
It is, and it's terrible because a lot of times it's just frustrating. It's like, I want to speak to a representative.
You're hitting 42 times on your phone trying to get to a representative.
It's like, well, we need this information. Well, what would you like to do? No, I just want to talk to a representative.
Exactly.
What's the coverage area for HomePro? I mean, is it
Texas?
Will they go like West Texas, like Midland, Odessa?
I believe so. Yeah, I haven't got out there yet, but if there's people out there, then most likely. Really, it's
Go see some Bojo action out there.
Exactly.
West Texas football.
Nice.
But our main hubs is going to be Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, Austin, San Antonio. That's our main hubs, and then then we go kind of spread out from there. Because again, our niche is with the builders, and so we're in the new communities.
Right.
But we do spread out beyond that, like down into Waco and some stuff like that. So. I don't know if we're going to go all the way down to, the border necessarily, down in the valley down there, or all the way to El Paso.
Down in El Paso.
Yeah, probably
what
not.
About Lubbock? Guns up country.
I'd give it a shot. Yeah, I'd give it. We might be able to.
Come on, gotta go to Lubbock.
Yeah. But for the most part, we're in Texas. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
That is awesome. I like that.
But Oklahoma being so close, I'm just wondering. But I don't know. You got OKC and all that's a ways off.
Well, that becomes a licensing issue. Yeah. So the alarm industry is pretty regulated. And so we would have to have a license to operate in Oklahoma. So, and right now, I mean, who knows? They're always talking about growing and expanding. So, Oklahoma, that's not that far away, so I wouldn't be surprised if someday we would be in Oklahoma.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. But hopefully have like a corporate office there too.
Yeah.
Like you guys here.
A regional office.
Regional. Regional. Yes. I'm sorry. Hello.
Yeah. They're different north of that Red River. You're going to have to get different people up there.
Oh, yeah. It would be a different feel for sure.
Right. No 1-800 number. Like, I think that would be awesome, just to stay away from that. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, it's a local number, which is the coolest thing.
I think so too. Because then you're like you said, you're really getting somebody. If you have a problem with your system or something like that, you don't have to wait forever, especially if your alarm's going off. I mean, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean, I used to tell people back in the day, there's an 888 number, and you can almost hear the eye roll over the phone. They had to call an 800 number.
Yeah.
But now I say, well, here's the office number. It's 972. I don't have it memorized yet. I probably should, but it's a 972 number. So, which is super cool. People can just get to call locally and deal with local people.
Nice. All right.
So,
and we can always put the link to your guys' website, or if there's a site that I need to send them to for you, we could put that on there as well for our listeners.
Okay.
And so that way they have it. If they would like to see it, they can always reach out to the studio and we can give them that info too. So
yeah, they always call me direct too. Call or text, email, whatever.
Yeah. All right.
He prefers 2 a.m. goes.
Yes, those are my.
Or
favorite.
maybe she should text in. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, as a realtor, I've received calls even as late as that.
That's rough.
It can be. It can be.
That's going to be rough. So let's say I'm the overreactive parent that after I've heard all the products you're out there going, here's the basics. But then I hear about these cameras and outside and inside, and I'm like, okay, Ken, good job. I think I've got it all. And what if I want the whole package, you give me the cost, I fall over with a heart attack, and then you grab me and you say, and I'm like, I don't have the money to pay for all that. What would you tell me?
So a couple options at that point, right? Because people always want a ton of stuff up front, which is cool. Well, I'll do whatever they want to do, right? A couple things I tell people, okay, hey, we can do this in stages if you want to. You want to start with XYZ and then add in ABC later down the road? Cool, let's do that. Or we also have a financing option. We have a 0% financing option that people can finance the stuff too if they want to.
Same as cash.
Same as cash.
All right.
Sound like a car dealership.
Right, for sure.
But yeah, same as cash. So like if someone, and this doesn't happen a whole lot, but if someone, picked out $1,000 worth of cameras or something like that, they want a lot of stuff seen. They want inside cameras, they want outside cameras, whatever. But they don't have $1,000. I tell them we can do it in phases. You don't have to do it all right now. or we have this financing option. It's 0% interest, and you can take advantage of that if you want to. So it kind of like puts them at ease a little bit too. Because
Yeah.
again, go back to that. I don't just push stuff on people. Whatever they can do at the time, let's do that. If we want to add stuff in later, we can add stuff in later.
Right.
Yeah, as long as we've got some sort of baseline security going for them, I'm happy with that.
Okay.
And then we can always add to it later if we need to. So
Awesome. So like, do you guys have like different screens and stuff, like push, like it's touch screens and things like that now?
yeah,
Okay.
100%. Yeah.
That's cool.
So we've got the standard traditional systems, right?
Right.
The push button type stuff that we've all seen and used in the past. We still have those. We can still use those, but then we can upgrade to the touchscreen keypads also. We have 2 different versions of that. We have a regular touchscreen that really just makes the system easier to use. Because if
Okay.
you've ever been confused by a touch button keypad and you didn't hit the buttons just right and it goes off and all these different things, right?
Yeah.
As a realtor, you probably did that a lot as a realtor
yeah.
going into houses
Yeah.
on the regular, right? The touchscreen makes it so much easier.
I believe that.
Yeah. And then we have one, another bump up from that has a little camera on it. So it'll take a picture of people arming and disarming. So let's say, like I mentioned, latchkey kids earlier, a latchkey kid comes home, disarms the system. The parent can get a picture of that kid disarming the alarm, so I know it was the kid. Same for business owners. Like if business
nice.
owners are worried about employees giving out codes, different things, the keypad will take a picture of them when they arm and disarm the system and send it to the business owner. And that system also does Bluetooth disarming, which is pretty cool. So you pair your cell phone with the pad, right? And as you're approaching the home or the business, it'll disarm it for you, which is pretty cool.
That is cool.
And there's some more, features tied into that I don't know if we have the time to get into. But so we have essentially 3 different versions of panels people can use. They all come with the app, so you can use all 3 of them from your phone: arm, disarm, set geofencing, all sorts of stuff. But as far as the functionality goes, it's like good, better, best type of scenario.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. And be able to have the options and as well the financing, because that's always, because I mean, you want the fancier stuff, or you want you want it what's going to work the best for your family. And if you have kids, like you said, those touch pads
makes it way easier.
Yes, it does. It does. So I would prefer that for sure.
Yeah, and that financing thing is fairly new to the industry. Back when we talk about landlines, back in the day, there was no financing back in the day for any of this stuff.
No.
And now there's an option to finance it, so you can get the house secure, get the family secure, get the business secure, and then pay it off when you have the time to do it. So
Nice. All right.
Yeah, works out real good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can see that for a business when you're running a lot of employees, and it's always the great employee theft scandal, and it's like, who was it, who did it? Well, this takes a lot of the mystery out of it. Well, you're the one that clocked out. Got your picture doing it.
Exactly.
Especially if they didn't know, you don't tell them they're on camera. When they do
yeah,
it.
because you can't tell it's a camera.
So
you
they
see a dot on the
they do it
keypad.
smart. They put the gloves on and all that. Oh, they'll never know it was me. And it's like, oh, we got you on camera, man.
Their face is right there.
Yeah.
Or that teenager, it's going to be like, oh, no, it wasn't. There you are on camera. Look at this.
Exactly.
Or they gave it out to their friend.
Yeah.
And their friend comes in and disarms it. I thought I told you not to tell nobody. Now we gotta change it.
Exactly. Then new code.
New code.
Don't,
This is why I tell you not to do that.
we don't need CSI anymore. We got the cameras, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Cameras tell the story. A lot
Yes. Yes. That's funny. Actually, that reminds me of something. I was having a conversation with my husband. I was like, how how can people get away with anything nowadays? How can you get away? There's cameras everywhere, like everywhere you go, parking. I mean, you can't get away with anything these days. So why do you still try?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, if you're doing what you should do, you should be okay. But if you're not, then a camera's going to get you.
Right.
Yeah.
Or those ones like I'm a part of the neighborhood, that neighborhood app where everybody
Next door?
hey, next door.
Yeah.
Yes. And so they also put on there, hey, if you see this person, please notify the police because they stole their mail, like a box or something that was out in front of their front porch on the porch. Yeah, porch pirate. Yes, thank you. See, I'm squirreling today.
Yeah. But you get on camera, you can start spreading. I did that not too long ago. Some dude hopped my back fence, try and get into my shed, and really. He just walked up and like checked the lock, see if it was actually locked, and then walked off. But I got it on video at night. It's got nice, good, clear infrared camera. And I put it on the neighborhood Facebook page and it turns out he broke into a couple cars that night and he stole a package off of someone's porch, which I don't know why they had a package on their porch at midnight, but that's when he got it, but then that dude never came back again after, we plastered him like all over the neighborhood. So cameras can definitely help.
Yeah. So why you guys keep doing that? We got cameras now, y'all. Come on.
Well, it's like bouncing a check at our place or something. You're
gonna end up on Facebook.
Yeah. Nailed and you're disgraced and you got to go into hiding and all that. Yeah.
It boggles my mind. It boggles my mind. I'm sorry. I had to talk about that because, home security cameras. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't, but it's okay. It's okay.
Well, criminals are dumb. That's why they're criminals,
Right.
And I've got a love-hate relationship. I hate what they do, but I got a job because of it.
Yeah.
So,
Right?
I mean, it's that's what we do is try and prevent that stuff from happening. So
Right. So keep Ken in business, but and we'll just keep blasting you on social media.
Exactly.
I love it. Okay, so some of the other features that you guys have. So windows. I know that there's the sensors on the windows that you can put on there too.
Yeah. So if we're talking about a house, I mean, if it's a newer home that was pre-wired, a lot of times builders contact every opening,
Yes.
doors and windows and all that. If not, we can put contacts on those. And so that's different levels that we can do. Like some people want contacts on every window. Some people want a glass break sensor to cover windows. Because if it's a newer home with newer windows, it's really hard to like kind of jimmy those open like the old school aluminum windows. You just a butter knife and you can open a window, right? Nowadays, these windows are so tight, you have to break the window to get in, essentially, right? So I ask people all the time, like, are you the type of family that opens windows? And most people in Texas are like, no, we don't open windows here in Texas. And so if they keep windows closed all the time, I can put a glass break sensor in a room and it'll cover multiple windows instead of doing a bunch of window sensors.
Yes.
Right? So it's a cost-effective way to do it, and it still does what you want it to do. And so that's stuff that I try and go through with people and talk through options and different things. But then some people want, every window contacted, which is fine. We'll do that too. So but doors, windows, motions, glass break sensors, all the normal type alarm devices that are out there. We do.
Okay.
That's to keep the teenager inside. Deal.
That's what I'm saying.
Sneaking out their bedroom window.
Or sneaking somebody in.
Oh my God.
That's the maximum security type scenarios. Keep everyone in.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Unless you have a garage door like my
do
mom
what
and
you
dad
got to
did.
do. Wire it. Put whatever you got to there.
Oh yeah.
We don't want anyone going in or out of that thing.
Actually, I have an install going in right now. That was that situation.
Yeah.
I want to keep the teenager in.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Cool. Let's rock and roll. Whatever you want to do, we'll figure it out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. They might still I don't know how they'd find a way though, because between the doors and like that is the ultimate lockdown, I feel.
So is it pretty much, I'm trying to think of areas where, you got some homes out on some remote land, ranch houses, stuff like that. But if a phone works, should the security be able to work? Is it pretty much that if you've got a tower that a cell phone, you can get a cell phone service?
Exactly. So if you got cell phone service, the alarm system is going to work. And then if we're getting weak signal, there's antennas that we can add to the system that will boost the signal. But even an alarm system has generally better reception than a cell phone will, because it has a bigger internal antenna, has a bigger power source to push signal. But even if we're getting a weak signal, we have antennas that we can add to it that'll push the signal even farther.
Okay.
All right. So like if you had like an outbuilding or like a barn that was like quite further away from the property, you'd still be able to still use that, or would you have to have a whole separate system for that?
That's a case-by-case scenario.
Okay.
Sometimes we can tie in a second building into the alarm system, just depending on the situation. And then if it's too far, though, it might have to be a separate system.
Okay. That makes sense.
That's case by case type of thing, though.
I can understand that because some buildings are a little, I mean, I'm sure it depends on how far away they are from each
and
other, right?
Some people, when they're putting buildings out like that out there, they'll put they'll pre-trench it and have like a PVC or something under the ground with a pull string, so we can run wire out to that building.
Right.
Some
the
people
direct wire.
some people
Okay.
think ahead and do that, but if not, and it is too far away from the building A,
Yeah.
then we have to put a second system in building B.
Okay, gotcha.
Like
Gotcha.
equestrian places where they stable up their horses at night. I can definitely see them having, alarm system out there.
Oh, alarm cameras.
Yeah.
A lot of those places, if they're keeping horses, especially expensive horses, they'll have internet and stuff out in those barns.
Oh, yeah.
So they can remote view cameras and things like that. So
Yeah,
we've seen that quite often.
I've seen that.
I think you can still get hung for stealing a horse in Texas. I think it's still
Probably.
a law, but
Probably.
that doesn't sometimes that doesn't stop people. So
Don't steal anybody's
get the
horses,
security.
please. So what about man, I had another good one too. Dang, I lost it.
I'm sorry. I
It's
shouldn't say
okay.
anything about
It's
that
okay.
hanging.
No, you're good. You're good. You had me cracking up over here and thinking, what? We hang people?
Well, just
Okay.
for stealing horses.
Oh, just for stealing horses. Okay.
Anything else? You're okay.
Okay. Man, now I can't remember. It was a really good one too. Oh, no, it wasn't the cameras. Nope, never mind. Okay, I'm sorry. Squirreling. I'm telling you, I'm
No.
having a
Well, I can add
a
to the
day.
cameras a little bit. One thing our
Yeah.
cameras do that not all cameras do is video analytics. So our cameras record 24/7,
Right.
but you can also set it up to where it'll set a clip aside based on if a human, an animal, or a vehicle approach a certain area. So not only you can see, constant recording, but if a person did walk into a certain area, then it'll take that clip, set it aside, and it'll notify you if you want it to. And then you can look at that clip. And if it's nothing, it's the mailman or whatever, no big deal. But if someone approached your house or vehicle or something, you want to go back and look at the whole recording, then you can go back into the recording itself and see the whole clip, which is pretty
wow.
cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. And then, so you can do it for humans. It can do animals. So like you can do a perimeter in your yard. So if you want to know if the neighbor's dog is dropping bombs in your yard, you can get clips of that and take it over to the neighbor. Like, hey, can you keep your dog in your yard? I actually used that once. A neighbor across the street moved, and their moving truck, like they kind of like pulled into my driveway and then back into theirs. Well, they missed my driveway. And as they're cranking the wheel on the moving truck, it tore up my yard.
Ooh,
right.
yeah.
And so I took the clips from the camera and walked it across the street. Like, you gotta fix my yard, and they did, which is cool. But you can use it for all sorts of scenarios. The video analytics is pretty cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool. Okay, I remember my question. Metal buildings.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I know sometimes metal buildings, and I'm talking commercial even, but there are condominiums out there too. And I know that they've got it somehow where they're still able to get internet connection, but it's still not that great of service. So has that ever become an issue?
Metal buildings, like as far as like alarm equipment, things like that, as long as all the alarm equipment is inside the building, it's pretty good.
Okay.
As far as getting like a cell signal out, we can run an external antenna outside that barndominium or metal building and push that signal out. As far as Wi-Fi goes, if you have exterior cameras that run off of Wi-Fi, usually what I do is a speed test beforehand, in like an internet speed test in the areas where you want to put cameras and see if you're getting good signal there. But also we offer every camera comes with a Wi-Fi extender to try and boost the signal to that camera to make sure it gets good signal too. So,
well, that's awesome.
We try and, solve the problem before it's a problem.
I love it. So, I love it. See, that's why I asked.
Yeah.
Good question.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's sweet.
I knew it was a good question.
Swimming pools too, right?
Yeah,
you
definitely watch swimming pools.
If something hits the water, it's like alarm goes off.
No, not necessarily. But you can do that whole video analytics thing. So if a person falls in the pool, you'll get a clip of it. So you can do that.
Would it set off the alarm though?
No, it would not set off the alarm. No.
Does it like?
Okay,
Is there a notify?
So if they're in Florida or something, which I know, but I'm just wondering, like some big lizard, alligator gets in your deal. There's no alarm that goes off. How about a big snake? You got to worry about that stuff.
Well, that's where the animal analytics would come in, and you get that clip.
Oh, it alerts you. Hey,
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's
awesome,
awesome.
kid. Good info, man.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you,
for having
Ken.
me.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Bye, guys. Thanks for listening, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Talk to you guys soon.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County, Joco Community Radio.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise.